Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is July 6, 2025, and Barcelona are now fearing that perhaps they might not get a cash influx from the transfer of Oscar Mingueza. Also, Barcelona are currently eyeing an Atletico de Madrid rising star, and finally, Esteb William once again sending a message to Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with some not fully bad news, but a little bit of bad news because Barcelona are currently in the dark in regards to Oscar Mingueza, and they're now starting to fear that, well, they might not make money off his transfer. Now, the 26-year-old right winger had a really good season with Celta Vigo. As such, he has caught the attention of several clubs, more specifically Aston Villa, who have been pushing for the signing of the former Barcelona player, and it's reported that Celta Vigo were asking 20 million euros for Oscar Mingueza, something that would have benefited Barcelona because Barcelona still own 50% of the rights of the player. So if if Aston Villa had paid 20 million euros, Barcelona would get 10 million euros out of that deal without having to lift a single finger. And of course, that would go a long way in helping Barcelona with their financial fair play. Well, the bad news is that so far there hasn't been any moves. In fact, the negotiations with Aston Villa have been put on hold, which has made Barcelona fear that maybe Celta Vigo are being successful or are succeeding in convincing Oscar Mingueza to renew, because Mingueza's contract expires next summer, 2026. So Celta Vigo are trying to renew his contract. If they cannot renew his contract, then they're definitely going to transfer him so he doesn't leave as a free agent next summer. But for now, since the negotiations with Aston Villa are on hold, Barcelona are fearful that maybe Mingueza will end up renewing. If he does end up renewing with Celta Vigo, of course, Barcelona will not make a single penny. But if he does move, Barcelona stand to gain 10 million euros. So we'll see what will happen. I'll continue to monitor this situation. Of course, I'll be here to tell you all about it, but hopefully Mingueza does make a move. Come on, Mingueza, go to Aston Villa, man. They're the best club ever. They're going to win the treble. Just kidding. They're not even going to play Champions League, but forget about that. Just go. Anyways, on to the next bit of news, because Barcelona are currently tracking the situation of an Atletico Madrid promising player whose name is Dani Munoz. Now, Dani Munoz is an 18-year-old left back who came up through the academy of Atletico Madrid. I think he currently plays for Atletico Madrid C, if I'm not mistaken. He's currently in negotiations with Atletico Madrid for the extension of his contract. The negotiations are kind of stalled because it looks like Dani Munoz would like some first-team minutes, which is looking a little bit difficult under El Cholo Simeone. So Barcelona are currently monitoring the situation, because if Dani Munoz does not extend his contract with Atletico Madrid, they could make a push for the signing of the youngster, and this will be a signing for Barca Athletic. Now you might say, Mo, why would Barca Athletic want to sign Dani Munoz? Well, that's because Jofre Torrens will most likely spend more time with the first team, if not the whole season with the first team. So that, of course, leaves a big opening in Barca Athletic, and Barcelona are hoping to sign Dani Munoz for that position. But of course, it will all depend on how the negotiations go between Dani Munoz and Atletico Madrid. So for now, Barcelona is just monitoring the situation. And again, if a renewal doesn't happen, then Barcelona will try to pounce. Now, Barcelona will have competition from many other clubs. But again, for now, just tracking what's going on in Madrid. Now, on to the next bit of news, because Esteb William has once again winked at Barcelona. That was a terrible wink. Winked at Barcelona. Now, the 18-year-old right winger had an amazing match against his new team, Chelsea, in the Club World Cup, scored a brilliant goal for Palmeiras. And as you know, he has always stated that it's his dream to play for Barcelona, that his biggest idol is Lionel Messi. And while now in his most recent statement, Esteb William was asked about who are his idols, and while he only mentioned Barcelona players, he mentioned Ronaldinho, Neymar, Rafinha. So Esteb Williams continues to mention Barcelona or Barcelona players, because again, he's always said that it's his dream to play for Barca. Now, as you know, Esteb William did sign with Chelsea last year, but he couldn't make the move because he wasn't 18 yet. He is 18 now, so he's expected to join Chelsea this summer. He has signed until 2033, but who knows? Maybe in 3 years, 4 years, he looks to leave. Maybe he can come to Barcelona because, after all, it looks like Esteb William is the real deal. You know, I feel like they all lie to us about Endrick and Vitor Roque, but Esteb William so far has shown that he is the real deal, that he is living up to his hype. Of course, we'll know more once he makes the move to Chelsea. But once again, Esteb William, you know, a little wink to Barcelona. Now, speaking of Estevao, Deco, Barcelona sporting director, had some words about the Brazilian player when he was asked, you know, out of all Brazilians, who is it? And this is what Deco had to say of the young Brazilians. Estevao, he is the different Brazilians. They have it all. The Brazilian under-20 team that won the South American Championship has 2 or 3 very good players. Fluminense also have some. So Deco agreeing that, you know, out of all the Brazilian talent right now, Esteb William seemed to be the it guy. And again, who knows? Maybe in a few years, Barcelona could sign him. Now, he does play as a right winger in Lamine Yamal's position. But who knows? Maybe one day Lamine will play as an attacking midfielder. I have the feeling that he could. Or maybe Esteb William will evolve into that position. But again, this is years down the road, and who knows if Barcelona would ever sign him. But we can all dream, right? But anyways, Deco did have some great words about Lamine Yamal, where he likened him to Neymar. And this is what the Barcelona sporting director had to say. Lamine is a phenomenon. A phenomenon. Being the best in the world depends on him. He'll be competing with Real Madrid for championships at FC Barcelona for the next few years, and he's in the best place to fight on the best stage. Lamine's start is very similar to Neymar's beginnings. Life has helped him mature the way he is. Now he has more responsibilities as a player, but he's also at his age. When he's 30, he'll be doing the things 30-year-olds do. So Deco saying that the beginnings of Lamine very similar to the beginning of Neymar. Hopefully he stays at that, because we all know how the Neymar situation ended, or how the Neymar story ended. So let's hope that Lamine Yamal doesn't go down that path and he stays focused on his career, because Lamine Yamal, to me right now, is the best in the world. And if he can stays focused, he'll be able to join the table of the greatest in the sport. Now, Deco also had some pretty great words in regards to Rafinha, and this is what the Barcelona sporting director had to say. Coutinho! No, he said Rafinha. He doesn't know about Coutinho. Rafinha gives you a lot with his character. First, because he always fights. Second, because he has a profile that helps Lamine, Pedri, and all the younger generation at Barca. Rafinha, like Inigo or Lewandowski himself, does. Rafinha has a character that contributes a lot. That's why we made him captain, and he feels like a leader. He had a fantastic season. So Deco praising Rafinha for, you know, his leadership skills and how, you know, he's always fighting. He has that fighting spirit. He never gives up. And of course, he also helps the youngsters, just like Inigo and Lewandowski do. I think we've all seen that. We've seen how Rafinha, you know, acts on the field. So you can only imagine how he's like behind closed doors. Now, finally, Deco did talk about Messi and Ronaldinho. He said Messi is the most complete footballer he's seen. But to him, you know, he chooses Ronaldinho over Messi because he did play with him. And finally, Deco saying that Spain and Argentina are the 2 favorites for the 2026 World Cup. To me, honestly, Spain is. But I do want to hear you guys' thoughts. Who is the favorite to win the 2026 World Cup? Let me know down below in the comment section. Anyways, that is all for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago, so if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.